Look closely. The walls we've built around us, the borders carved out by lines on maps, the rules written by yesterday's leaders, these aren't just marks on parchment or ink on paper. They are invisible chains strangling the spark of innovation, suffocating the fire of progress at its very roots. Every border is a barrier, every checkpoint a delay, every passport a reminder that creativity, the lifeblood of change, is boxed into tiny cages of outdated nationalism. And while the world screams for breakthrough ideas, those very walls shut out collaboration, throttle radical thinking, and kill momentum before it even begins. This is the brutal reality for anyone who dreams bigger than their country, who sees possibilities crossing oceans where others see walls. Founders stuck navigating regulations designed for a slower, safer century. Investors trapped in local markets while the real opportunities spark in far-flung, unseen corners. Professionals forced to serve bureaucratic borders instead of global needs. Leaders bound by flags that limit vision. The system tells you to wait your turn, play it safe within your lines. But the price. Your chance to redefine the game. Your edge. Your revolution. Borders don't just slow innovation down. They choke it with fear, suspicion, and a false sense of security that keeps ideas from mixing, fusing, evolving. Imagine if every genius, every dreamer, every risk-taker was freed to move, connect, and create without limits. The velocity of progress wouldn't just increase, it would explode. Because innovation isn't born in isolation. It thrives at the edges, fueled by diversity, contrast, and the collision of wildly different perspectives. Yet old borders resist that fusion. They crave sameness. They demand simplicity. They reward conformity. But the future? The future is a wild, relentless dance of difference and defiance. Feel it, the frustration, the anger, the sense that no matter how big the idea, no matter how fierce the ambition, one little line, one government decree, one national policy turns your dream into a marathon with hurdles disguised as progress. Every visa denied, every tax code twisted, every trade barrier raised is another brick in the prison built around your potential. And it's not just business, it's culture, it's knowledge, it's access to the lifeblood of growth. The old world was set up to preserve control, to keep power sequestered. But you see that now, and you burn with the hunger to break free. Here's where the real fight begins. Not just for profits or markets, but for the freedom to be more than where you were born, more than what your country says you are allowed to do. Real liberation means tearing down those borders in your mind first, because that's where they're strongest. It's the mental limits, the small thinking, the acceptance of artificial divides as truth. To break innovation free, start by rejecting the illusion that you must play by those outdated national rules. Create your own rules. Build your networks outside of geography. Seek collaboration not within your borders but beyond them. The world is not a collection of isolated markets. It is one vast ecosystem, alive with potential and powered by connection. Your job? Be the link that bridges impossible gaps, the signal that cuts through static, the spark that ignites new paths. Look at the greatest breakthroughs today. Do you see countries working alone? Number. You see teams scattered across continents, ideas shaped in different languages and cultures, resources flowing across seas at lightning speed. The future belongs to those who can navigate this fluidity, who treat the world not as segmented kingdoms, but as a limitless canvas. It's not reckless. It's the smartest, most ruthless strategy. Because the truth is, borders aren't just killing innovation. They're killing opportunity, progress, even humanity's survival. They fragment us, disguise shared challenges as separate problems, and prevent the kind of radical cooperation that breakthroughs demand. So what can be done? The first step is stopping the waiting game. Stop hoping the system will soften, the governments will cooperate. Don't wait for permission to be exceptional. Start building autonomous alliances, networks that don't ask where you're from before deciding your value. These tribes, these coalitions of the rare and restless, are the salt in the wound of the old system. They exist in the cracks, in the margins where innovation breathes. Find them, align with them, amplify their voices. This is a service to the future and a declaration of independence from the stale, restrictive past. Investors, look beyond borders and red tape. The biggest returns are not in the safe bets of your backyard. They are in the emerging centers of creation, those unexpected intersections where risk meets vision. Seek founders who live that borderless mindset, because they will tear through walls others accept as unbreakable. Your capital can be the fuel for global disruption, but only if you reject the status quo of investment confined by geography. Founders and builders. Your fight is not just about product market fit, it's about culture market fit across multiple realities. Learn to navigate regulatory chaos not as a barrier but as a signal where flexibility is needed. Build teams that span countries without a shred of hesitation. Build your brand as one not restrained by nationality but defined by global impact. When stuck, don't pull back. Push harder into cross-border collaboration. That tension you feel, the distance, the bureaucracy, that's the crack where innovation seeps through. Leaders and visionaries, the call is even louder for you. You can choose to be the gatekeepers of old rules or architects of new freedom. The systems you inherit were never built for this kind of agility. Your role is to dismantle them from within and champion policies that prioritize the flow of talent, capital, and ideas across any artificial line. You hold the power to create environments where the exceptional can escape isolation. The so-called system you're part of isn't a prison, but can be the scaffolding of a new reality if you're bold enough to rewire it. This is more than optimism. It's necessity, survival. The clock isn't ticking, it's screaming. The world faces challenges that no country can tackle alone. The climate crisis, AI ethics, pandemics, economic shifts. Borders turn urgent global cooperation into fragmentation. But the solution won't arrive from government summits or treaties alone. It demands a revolution in thinking and action that begins with individuals who refuse to be boxed in. Remember this: freedom is not a gift from any nation. It's a choice made every day by countless individuals who refuse comfort, reject consensus, and burn for more. It's the power of the liberated individual that global progress depends on. When you see borders as obstacles, you give them strength. When you see them as scars of an old world to be transcended, you unlock doors. The wall that divides is also the wall that protects. But protection from what? Innovation fears no one willing to burn it down. You don't have to wait for the world to catch up. Your network can be your fortress. Your mindset can be your revolution. Your vision can be the map for others to follow. Find the few who burn as fiercely as you do. Those rare individuals who don't care which flag flies over them, but what they build together. Break alignment with mediocre comfort zones. Embrace discomfort as fuel. Invest in patience because dismantling a world built over centuries takes more than speed. It takes persistence. The landscape ahead is wild, uncertain, but ripe for seizure. The old borders will try to fight back. Bureaucrats, nationalists, systems clinging to control. But they cannot stop the tide of those who refuse to be constrained by maps and passports. This isn't about erasing difference. It's about honoring it by letting every voice, every idea, every fire breathe freely and mix without walls. Innovation isn't just about a product or a company. It's the liberation of possibility. You are not just founders, investors, professionals. You are the architects of a future that belongs to the brave and the boundary breakers. The old world whispers comfort, but it's a cage disguised as a home. Unchain yourself. Burn the rulebook. Connect with those who see the world not as separate pieces, but as a puzzle to be solved together. The borderless future is already here, not in governments, not in old institutions, but in the networks we form, the values we hold, the relentless drive to become more than we are told to be. So step out, link up, and be the spark that melts the frozen lines, not just around you, but in the minds of everyone who dares to see beyond. Because the only border that truly kills innovation is the one inside your head. And once that's broken, there is nothing that can stop the rush of new ideas changing the world. The time to be contained is over. The time to ignite is now.